The line outside the swine barn had backed up past the feed truck before Carl Doss even noticed what was holding it. He'd hauled hogs to the Bryan-Cross County Fair every August for 41 years, and he knew the gate the way he knew his own porch steps. Scan the ear tag, check the card, wave the trailer through. 6 seconds, maybe 8 if the kid working the clipboard was new. This morning it had stopped cold, and the woman at the front of the line wasn't moving either. "Ma'am, I need you to step aside and let the next entry through." The man at the gate knew this year a laminated badge that read Russell Tate, Superintendent, Swine Division, held his clipboard up like it might do some of the talking for him. "You can take her around to the handler's pen, and someone will walk her through from there." "I'm the handler," the woman said. "I'm also the entrant. My name's right there on the card you're holding." Carl knew her. Everybody on this side of the fairgrounds knew her, or knew her father before her. Eustace Marsh had shown hogs at Bryan-Cross for 3 decades and beaten Carl's own animals out of a blue ribbon more August than Carl much liked to remember. His daughter, Odette, had taken over the line 12 years back after Eustace passed, and she'd kept it running clean. Good bloodlines, careful record books, and this year a gilt named Clementine that had every breeder on the lot talking before the trailer doors had even swung open. Tate flipped the card over like he expected something different printed on the back. "This says M. Marsh." "That's me. Odette. It's just usually when somebody else brings the animal in for the family. Nobody else brought her in. I drove her here myself, 3 hours in my own trailer." Odette didn't raise her voice. She set one hand flat on the gate rail, the way a person does when they mean to stand there a while. "My registration's been on file since June. My exhibitor number's right beside my name. You're welcome to call it in if you'd rather not take my word for it. I'm not saying I don't take your word." "Then check the number." He didn't check the number. He glanced past her instead, toward the next trailer in line, a white couple from 2 counties over, fair regulars, and waved them through without so much as opening their card. Then he turned back to Odette, gentler now, like gentler might help. The handler's pen was just around the side. No trouble at all. Somebody could walk her hog through from there, if she'd rather not wait at the main gate. "I'll wait here," Odette said. Carl had told himself twice already that it wasn't his gate. His own boar was getting restless behind him in the heat, and the line was somebody else's problem to untangle. But he kept doing the arithmetic anyway. Eustace Marsh's ribbons, the years of that same trailer on that same gravel road. The couple waved through behind her without a glance at their card, and the arithmetic kept coming out wrong. "Russell," he said it loud enough to carry. "That's Odette Marsh. Her daddy ran hogs on this lot longer than you've been superintendent of anything. Check the number." Tate's jaw worked. "Carl, I appreciate it, but I've got a process to follow." "Then follow it. The number's sitting right there in your hand." A woman 2 trailers back leaned out her window. "I've shown across the aisle from the Marsh line for 9 years. That's her entry. Everybody on this lot knows that's her entry." A teenager farther down, a 4-H kid with a lamb tag pinned to his shirt, too young to know whether it was his place to say anything, called out that the holdup was eating in a check-in for the whole junior division, and could somebody please just look at the card already? "It's holding up the whole gate," somebody else added, not unkindly, just stating a fact. And that much was true, but Carl noticed the shape of the complaint shifting as it traveled. People weren't looking at Odette anymore. They were looking at the clipboard in Russell Tate's hand. Odette didn't turn to acknowledge any of it. She kept her eyes on Tate, her hand on the rail, and Clementine shifting easy in the trailer behind her, like the guilt had nowhere particular to be either. "Ask me anything you need to ask," Odette said. "I'm not going around back." It took 11 more minutes. Carl counted them off later, the way a man counts the seconds after he's finally said the thing he should have said sooner, before Patricia Lowell came down from the Fair Board office to see what had backed traffic up clear past the feed truck. She was 60-some, silver-haired, had run the Bryan-Cross board for the better part of a decade, and she didn't ask Tate what was wrong. She asked for the ledger. She found the entry in under a minute, flipping past entries until her finger landed and stayed. M. Marsh Odette, registered the 2nd week of June, exhibitor number matched, ear tag number matched, 3 years running without a single discrepancy on the books. She held the page up so Tate could see it for himself, then turned it so the gate could see it too, and looked at him in a way that didn't need any more words attached to it. Russell, walk me through what happened here. I was following the verification procedure. You didn't verify anything. You assumed something, and then you spent 11 minutes defending the assumption instead of opening the ledger I'm holding right now. Patricia's voice didn't rise. It didn't need to. Go find Denny. Tell him he's running this gate for the rest of the day. You and I are going to have a longer conversation in my office once this line clears out. Nobody at the gate cheered exactly. It wasn't that kind of moment. But Carl watched the line loosen the way a held breath does. He watched the woman 2 trucks back nod once, like something had finally been settled that needed settling. He watched the 4-H kid with a lamb tag straighten up a little, like he'd learned something he hadn't expected to learn standing in a check-in line. And he watched Tate walk off toward the office with the clipboard still in his hand and nowhere left to point it. Patricia turned to Odette. I'm sorry. That should never have taken this long, and it should never have happened at all. Go on in. Clementine's got a ring to get to. Thank you, Odette said, in the same level register she'd used through all 11 minutes, and led her guilt through the gate without looking back at the line behind her. By early afternoon, the fair board had a card posted at every livestock gate on the grounds, hand-lettered and laminated in a hurry. Registration verified by ledger number, not by assumption. Tate finished out the week reassigned to the parking lot. Patricia's office opened a short, plain review, the kind that ends in a sentence or 2 in a binder nobody reads except the next superintendent who needs to know why the card is posted at all and why it stays posted. Carl took his usual spot at the rail for the swine show that afternoon, same as he had for 41 years, except this time he found himself watching the gate as much as the ring. Clementine showed clean, good motion, a level top line, the kind of animal that made the judge slow his walk and circle back for a second look. She didn't take the purple. She took reserve, just behind a boar from 2 counties over that had earned it fair and square, and Odette accepted the ribbon with the same even nod she'd given Patricia at the gate that morning, as though neither the hold-up nor the placing had managed to move her much in either direction. Carl walked over afterward, not entirely sure what he meant to say. Your daddy would have liked that gilt. He'd have told me she carries a little high in the shoulder. Odette almost smiled. He was never wrong about that kind of thing. No, Carl said. He wasn't. He thought about it the whole drive home. How close he'd come to staying quiet that first minute or 2, telling himself it wasn't his gait, his fight, his problem to untangle. 41 Augusts at that fairground, and it had taken 11 minutes and 1 ledger to teach him something he should have already known going in, that watching the wrong thing happen quietly is its own kind of choice. And so, finally, is deciding to say the name out loud.